Hello everyone, I'm Gareth, Mastermind for you again today, and welcome to something very different than what I normally would do. As you may be able to tell from this, I'm actually inside of a gaming virtual machine right now, and this is specifically the gaming virtual machine I'm using for my Valve source code tutorials. Now, the subject of today's video is actually going to be about this so-called demo I have here about non-Euclidean geometry. Now if we go into it, you see that there's a Visual Studio package. Because I'm doing the Valve source code tutorials, I have access to the source files here, and there is an executable called Non-Euclidean, which I assume loads into some sort of a game or some demo of some kind that demonstrates this so-called non-Euclidean geometry. Now, the first thing you'll probably be asking yourselves is, what the fuck is non-Euclidean geometry? And to essentially kickstart it off, according to Encyclopedia Britannica, it is essentially geometry that is not Euclidean, as you might be able to tell. But of course, that doesn't really help in defining what it is. So it usually is referring to what's known as hyperbolic geometry, though you can have ecliptic or spherical geometry, and all of it seems to stem from Euclid's fifth postulate. So Euclid had 5 postulates about geometry, and it's the fifth one that is one that can be essentially broken, and this is where you end up with hyperbolic or ecliptic or spheric, or some combination of all of them, and this is essentially the kind of geometry that we're dealing with. And so apparently hyperbolic geometry is sort of curved space, and that's important in general relativity, and I guess in that case it is tending towards stuff like black holes and wormholes and stuff like that. So maybe this is what it's going to mean by non-Euclidean geometry, is the use of stuff like wormholes and that. So I thought I'd get some of this out of the way first, and some models, as I said. So you got elliptic, sorry, not ecliptic, hyperbolic, and of course you can move into 3 dimensions as well, and it leads to complications, I guess. But we're not going to really be dealing with that. Of course, I'm going to be clicking on the non-Euclidean exe file. And this is why I'm running it in a gaming virtual machine, because Microsoft Defender Smart Screen has said that it's a possible risky application to run. So I'm doing this so you don't have to, in case it has viruses or fucks up your system or anything like that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do right now is actually run this and load up the page that I actually got this off of to know what it is that I'm doing. So just give me a second, guys. Okay everyone, so I'm in the game now. This is what it looks like. It's all sort of checkerboard textures, but we can use WASD to move around and use the mouse to look, and as you can see it's just an endless sky. But as you can see, this is what it means by so-called non-Euclidean geometry. So as you see, we got this sort of tube, and when we look into it, it actually looks like it's the end of the tunnel, when actually it isn't. So it looks like you should be able to see this entire wall go down, but then it's like, well, it doesn't. So it's like a wormhole essentially, as I said. And so here's one where it's the opposite, where it looks like it's relatively short, but then on the inside it's actually very long instead. So the idea of impossible space, I guess, or abstract space, or whatever you want to define it as. But it's quite cool actually to see something like this. It reminds me of the TARDIS from Doctor Who, you know, when they say it's bigger on the inside, especially this thing. It's like, it doesn't look like that's supposed to happen, but it does. And we can use the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to change between different demos. So this is demo 1. If I press 2, then we get this demo. So it looks like this. So I don't know if this is supposed to be like another example of, it looks like it's really big on the inside, and then it's like not so much when you look at it from the outside. But it looks like we have these. Oh, what's this? Was there supposed to be a... Oh, this is the door, isn't it? I thought the door would have been there, and it's like, hold on, wait. There's supposed to be a door here, wasn't there? But then it's like, nah, I think I fucked up there. I wasn't paying much attention. But this looks sort of... I don't know what is non-Euclidean about this. I mean, I'm looking around, and it seems that the space on the inside is being occupied appropriately. And it's just like separated into different compartments, and they're all coloured differently. So I don't know what is supposed to be non-Euclidean about this. It just looks like you go through, and all these are like compartments of a room or something, and yeah, that's all there is to it, I guess. Number 3 is much of the same, I guess. If I go to 3, well, 3 looks ever so slightly different. I mean, the colour of the floor is different, but again, it's like it looks like exactly the same demonstration. Oh wait, or is this supposed to be something? Yeah, this is something. Look what's going on. I'm walking around in circles in this room, and that it's actually changing colour. So if I go, you see it starts on blue, then we go to red. That's supposed to be orange, so when we go through here we're supposed to see orange, but then it's not, it's actually like grey. And to prove it's no smoke and mirrors, we can go back and see that that's blue. But when we go through here, it's purple, and then it goes back to blue, to orange and then blue. So it's like there's extra rooms inside here. So even though from the outside it looks like it's all fine, when you actually go through the interior of the room, it changes colours on the floor. So that's actually pretty interesting, actually. Again, just to show there's no smoke and mirrors around here, you can go around the building. So I'll do that here, actually. I might have fucked it up last time, but we see through here, we can see that's red over there. But we go through here and it's red, but then this is green. So that's not supposed to happen. And again, it's like, well, this is red, right? But then we go through and this is blue. So this is like an example of space that is, you know, too small to exist, essentially. So it's like we go through here. So this is where the entrance is. And then it looks like we're supposed to go through 4, but we only go through 3. And there's the entrance exit again. So it looks like it's not supposed to, you know, exist like that. I understand that demo now. That is an example of sort of complex space and geometry in that. But here we have what looks like to... well, there's no physics either, by the way, on these models. But it looks like a teapot of some kind. And we've got a pillar, by the looks of things. Again, not necessarily known what's... oh, what's this? Okay, I was going to say, I don't know what's non-Euclidean about this. No, you walk on one side of the pillar, it's a teapot and then a rabbit. That is interesting. Doesn't seem to apply over the pillar though. And then it's like, yeah, you go through. Oh, what the fuck? It's looks like a monkey or something. It's just like a pair of eyes. Okay, what's going on here? Yeah, so I guess if you play Ring of Rosie around the pillar here, you get different models that appear. That is interesting, I must admit. Number 5 is this. So it looks like it's oh, it's actually a slope that goes up, and you see the tube go up, but then it's actually going down. And then you can go through this, go down the slope to go down here, and then it's like, well, we're actually at the top of the slope. So we went down to go up. Somehow that works. And we can do that. We can go down, and we see we're following the tube going down. And then we go here, and we go down. We're going downwards, but then we somehow go up. So, how the hell does that work? It's magic. Yeah, it's magic, guys. And as you can see from here, you know, even though it looks like you should be able to see it going up, you don't. So that's impossible space right there. So that was number 5, right? Number 6 is much of the same, I guess. I mean, this looks like it's going smaller as we go through. But then when we actually look here, we go through and then it's like, yeah, somehow that works. And then from here we can see that it's going to be not much of the same, I guess. You can't do anything like crouch or anything like that, so. And then from this perspective, we can see that it's actually like going smaller. So this is like really small compared to us. But then when we go through here, then it's almost like we're decreasing in size, and then that is that in essence. So that's actually bigger for us. So if we go back and do this, we can actually like circle back through here, and then we can go through here. So that's like us getting scaled, and as you can see, it's like we're getting smaller. So I wonder if we can keep doing that, and then we keep getting smaller and smaller, because it's like the world's getting bigger around us. So just go through here, and then it's like, I don't know if there's going to be a limit on it, but it feels like we're getting really small now, and this is like gigantic compared to where we were at. So that was number 6. We got number 7 now, which is textures. Okay, this looks like an actual game now. So we start off on this sort of stone, and then we go onto bricks. We go through here onto wood. Oh, and then we see it's like polka dots. And then, wait, what? You're seeing this, right? Look at that. Look at that. So we're going into like platform 9 3/4 or something right here, guys. It's like there's a whole room inside of this like tiny area. We can actually go into it, and then as you can see, it actually kind of goes all the way around back through to the wood, and then as you can see, that's where we started. And again, it's like, wait, we're supposed to see steel right there, but then it's like, no, it's not. It's actually just it's just like the stone on the outside. So this is confusing as hell. I mean, it'd be interesting to make a game based off of this kind of geometry, like actually see it in action. So it's like you think you're going around the corner and you're supposed to see like these polka dots interacting with the stone, but then it's like, no, that doesn't happen whatsoever. And then it's like, oh, what's this? We've got an entire area in here, but then it's like, no, there's actually nothing here. So that's pretty interesting, actually. I must admit, I'm very intrigued with this demo. You know, I'm kind of shocked. It's actually really good. It's impossible geometry, but I like it. Very abstract looking, isn't it? So I think that is all of the demos that is included in this. So yeah, that is essentially the demo for this non-Euclidean geometry. So hope you enjoyed me covering this. It's definitely been a little fun to play, even though it is really just a demo and that's all there is to it. But I thought I'd cover something different. I've not really covered anything like this before on the channel, so I thought it would be interesting to go ahead and, you know, show you something different. And well, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just like screwing around with some of the demos a bit more, but yeah, it's like it's mind-blowing in a sense, isn't it? But with that, I hope you have enjoyed. I am 85,000G. I'm just going to close out of the demo now. And props to the creator who is, where is it? Hacker Poet on GitHub. So you can go to hackerpoet/non-Euclidean to get this demo. And of course, if you have something like Visual Studio, then you can dig into the source code in that as well. But props to you, Hacker Poet, and I am 85,000G, so thank you for watching, peace out, take care, see you later.